Today we're heading out from Dover, bound for Klagenfurt and Wörthersee in Austria. It's a long one, about 1,379 kilometers, the sort of distance that slowly unfolds rather than rushing past. We've only just set off and already there's that brief moment of doubt. Which side of the road are we meant to be on? I may be British, but with the company based in Europe and most of my driving done over there, it's surprisingly easy to forget. Muscle memory kicks in before the brain does, and for a second, everything feels just slightly out of place. It passes quickly enough. A small adjustment, a quiet reminder, and the road settles back into something familiar again. Just one of those little moments that come with crossing borders, even when you haven't gone very far yet. For the journey back, we'll be taking the ferry, which is always rather nice. A bit of sea air, a stretch of the legs, and some time to look out across the water before we roll back onto the road again. It's a good way to reset before the European leg really begins. The engine can rest for a while, the truck can sit quietly, and we can just watch the coastline drift past. A small pause between roads before the miles start adding up again. Calais, here we are. The ferry doors open and daylight spills back in. Engines wake up one by one, and before long we're rolling forward again. Tyres meeting French tarmac. It always feels like a small shift at this point. The same truck, the same road, but everything just a little different. Signs switch language, the road markings change, and the journey quietly carries on. Europe stretches out ahead of us now, and we settle back into the drive as if we've been here all along. Back on the motorway now, and the long leg of the journey begins. The road straightens out, traffic finds its rhythm, and everything starts to feel unhurried again. This is where the miles quietly stack up, one after another, without much fuss. The kind of driving where time stretches, thoughts drift, and the cab becomes its own small, moving world. We ease into cruising speed and let the motorway do what it does best. There's a long way to go from here, but there's no rush. Just road, engine, and the slow pull of distance ahead. A lovely red sky settles in around us as the sun begins to set. The light softens, spreading low across the horizon, tinting the road and the passing traffic with warm colour. Shadows stretch out ahead of the truck, and the day slowly loosens its grip. It's one of those moments that doesn't ask for much attention, but rewards it if you give it a glance. We keep moving, steady and unhurried, letting the evening arrive in its own time as the motorway carries us onward. Another country done. So long, France. Au revoir. The border slips past almost unnoticed, just a sign and a subtle change in the road. No ceremony, no pause, just the quiet sense of having covered a little more ground than before. The kilometers behind us are starting to add up now. looks to be getting a bit busier up ahead. Roadworks. Apart from the lanes narrowing slightly, it doesn't seem to be causing too much trouble. Traffic keeps moving, just a little more carefully than before. Barriers slide past on either side, cones flicking by in a steady rhythm. We ease through without much delay at all, and before long the road opens back up again, as if nothing ever happened. Just another small interruption, quietly folded into the journey. Oh, we shouldn't have come off there. Gosh, and now the engine has malfunctioned. Damn, we've hit it. We couldn't stop due to the engine problem, although not much damage and we're standing upright. So, on we go. We've probably earned a break now. A bit of a nap wouldn't go amiss. There's a rest area coming up, quiet enough to pull in and switch everything off for a while. The engine ticks as it cools, the road noise fades, and the cab becomes still again. Just enough time to rest the eyes and reset before the next stretch. We'll pick things up again shortly, a little more refreshed and ready to carry on.